Oh, hello and welcome back to the channel. We're back in the garage today and we've got the mighty Enfield up on the ABBA stand. It's the very end of October. Tomorrow we're in November. The roads will get pretty mucky and dirty and the salt will start going down. So what I was planning to do today was to winterize the wee Enfield. The Tiger, it'll be going off the road tomorrow, so that'll be in the garage for the winter. The Bonneville's laid up for the winter. This is the only bike that's going to be on the road for the next few months, over the worst of the winter months. And I thought I would do something which I've never actually done before, but to try and winterize the bike. I mean, I don't really mind going out in the winter too bad if it's cold, and even if it's pretty mucky. But what I hate doing is coming back and having to really clean the bike. It's just such a horrible job, especially in the winter when it's cold and miserable. So what I'm planning to do today is to do some treatment to this bike. I've actually cleaned it. It's pretty spotless. I'll take you around the bike in a few moments to let you see what it's like at the moment. But I'm going to use some ACF-50, which I've never ever used before. My idea is I'm going to blitz the bike with ACF-50 and hopefully that'll give it a protective coating for the winter, protect it from all the salt and crud. And my plan is to run the bike through the winter and not actually clean it. When I come back from rides, I'll hose it down with some fresh water to hose off any salt off it, but I don't intend to actually do a proper clean of the bike until the spring. So today, basically we're going to treat it with some ACF-50. I'll take you around the bike and have a wee look around at the moment to see what she's like. Kind of starting from front to back. Basically, I've got some plastic bags and some cling film and stuff covering up some of the switchgear and things. I'm not really going to be spraying anywhere near that, to be honest. And I've covered up the dash with some cling film and stuff. I don't want ACF-50 on that. I've also covered up the calipers. The brake pads are actually removed, but I've just covered it up with some cling film. My plan is to take the bike outside and apply the ACF-50. So I'm going to once it's outside, I'm going to drop the wheels off, just apply the ACF-50 to the bare chassis. Again, I've covered up the foot pegs and the rubbers because I don't want ACF-50 on them because it's a lubricant, it'll be quite slidey. And at the back, again, the rear caliper, it's off, it's kind of sealed up in a wee bag. So the bike is pretty clean. I've been in there cleaning every wee nook and cranny on it, so that bike is pretty spotless. So it's a good base to actually apply the ACF-50. So the next stage is basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bike. I don't want to actually spray the ACF-50 in the garage and any overspray going on the floor and stuff and being pretty messy. So I'm going to take it outside. So I'll get back to you once we're set up outside and we'll continue with the video. Basically, I've set up the bike outside. I'm going to do it in two parts. I'm going to raise the back end and then I'll raise the front end of the bike up. I've cleaned up right up inside the mud guards. That's all spotless in there. It's totally clean and dry. I've kept the chain tensioners out the end so I can spray some ACF-50 down inside these tubes, which would be quite a good idea as well. So I can get in and spray a lot of the bike. As you can see, I don't know if you can quite see, but it's absolutely spotless inside here. And you can get right down into all the stand area and all the bits that collect all the crud. Yeah, so let's go ahead and we'll give a coat of ACF-50 to the back end of the bike. I've never done this before. I've heated the can up so it should be spray quite easily. We'll give a good spray to the inside of the mudguard area first because that's the hardest bit to get to. Do it in between when I can't see properly there. And this is the bit that gets the most crud and it's the bit that rusts out the most is the mud guards. So I wanted to give that a really good coating inside here. Catch the insides of the shock absorbers, down the arms of the swinging arm, and the back end in there, back end of the engine, bottom, all the areas down the bottom here, the centre stand.
Sometimes we act like a fool.
See, I've given it quite a fairly good coating all over the bike. I'm going to let it seep in for a minute or two, and then I'm going to kind of rub it over a bit with an old clean microfiber cloth and kind of work it in, and also take off any of the excess that's on the bike. But that whole back end of the bike is pretty much covered in ACF-50. Feels quite sticky. Maybe I've put too much on.
You could gain from being a bit nicer, knowing to talk and when to shut your mouth. You're so moody, always such a fighter. Try to open up your mind sometimes. You'll be just fine.
Let you have a look and see what you think. Yep, that's it. Now kind of rubbed off. It's still got quite a good coating on it, and it'll just creep into all the wee nooks and crannies in there. And I think, and I've put quite a lot down inside these swinging arm sections. Yeah. So that's pretty much the back end of it covered. I'll change over to the front end now. What I want to do is again, I've cleaned all the inside of this mud guard. I want to give it a good spray inside there. Especially the edges of it where it's folded over. That's where the water will get in, the rust will start from. Again, we use the microfiber cloth and work it in all over. It's a messy job, to be honest. Well, at least it's maybe messy the way I'm doing it. I know I've taken the wheels off to do it. I didn't want to get any of this ACF-50 on the brake discs and things. I really wanted to get inside the mud guards really well. Once the engine starts to run, you'll see it smoking, it'll start to burn off a lot of the ACF-50 that's on it, but hopefully it'll still provide some protection, especially in the nice alloy side cases. They're nice. So I'll let you see the end result, and that's up inside the mud guard itself. Again, it's got a really good coating, but these wee edges down here where it's folded over, all the dirt and the water will get trapped inside there, so it's good to let the ACF-50 soak into that area. Anyway, for now I'll get the front wheel back on it and we'll get the bike back in the garage again. That's the bike back in the garage. It's had quite a good coating of ACF-50 and all that's on the bike and all the wee nooks and crannies that it's got. Hopefully it'll help to protect it. I've still got the wheels to do. I've not touched them yet. What I'm going to just go do is a cloth soaked rag, and I'm just going to rub ACF-50, especially on the alloy sections on the wheel. But at the moment I'm going to just let it sit here for the rest of the day and let it dry off, and then I'll get it up on the stand again tonight, and then I'll get the wheels done when it's up on the stand. So far, yeah, it's looking good, and some of the bits that were done early on at the beginning, they're drying off to quite a nice finish actually. It looks quite good. yeah, I think, well, it can't do any harm, can it? It can only help the bike. And at the end of the day, it's only 1 tin of ACF-50. And they only cost, they were only about 11 or 12 pounds or something from Sports Bike Shop. So for very little money, just a bit of time and effort, I just thought I'd show you around the bike a wee bit actually before I do finish. And just see how good she looks. Some wee bit of extra there, it's running a wee bit. But if you look at the back piece here, which was done, I mean, that's just lovely, it's beautiful. Once it all dries, I think it'll look good. Yeah. For the moment, I'll stop here, but I'll come back again when I've got the bike back together again, and we'll see what my final thoughts are on my first ever attempt at using ACF-50. So we'll continue the video a wee bit later. Well, it's the very next day. The bike's back together again. I've finished treating the wheels with ACF-50 and a few wee nuts and bolts, just wee tiny wee bits here and there. It's dried out really quite nicely. It's still a film. When you feel it, it's still got a wee kind of slidey kind of film to it, but that's fine. But hopefully the ACF-50 will do its job and it'll protect this bike all through the winter now. Only time will tell. We'll see. Next year sometime when we give it a proper clean, and we'll see what's hidden underneath all the dirt and grime that will accumulate on it. In some ways I'm quite looking forward to this now, because before I never used to really want to go out in it because of the hassle of cleaning it. Whereas now, yeah, I'll be quite happy just to take it out for a run and just come back, give it a quick hose down with cold water, and then just bung it in the garage. And then, yeah, that'd be so easy. Yeah, so yeah, we'll look forward to some wee adventures in this during the winter months. Try and keep the channel going a wee bit as well, because it's always difficult in the winter time. You can't really get out riding the bikes, it's not so much fun. Anyway, hope you've found this interesting. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, it doesn't cost anything, it's totally free. Hit the like button, that always helps my statistics a wee bit. This channel is purely free. It's not monetized in any way. I don't make a penny of income from the videos I produce. It's purely a hobby on my part. So yeah, it's good to see so many people coming on board and supporting the channel. So for now, take care, ride safe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.